Hey everybody, welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. Today we're going to be washing the race car. Now it is going to be a little bit more complicated than that. We're not just going to be washing the car and showing it on video. I actually want to do a quick review of this turtle wax. This is called Seal and Shine. It's kind of supposed to be like those ceramic coatings, except for this is a lot cheaper, so I just wanted to try this out. Now the reason I'm doing this kind of stuff on this car is because this car is very difficult to wash. There's lots of vents, and I have to be careful about where I spray water because the sunroof leaks and the back windows leak. These go straight into the engine bay. My air intake sits right here. So I have to be really careful about how I wash this car, and the car only gets washed a couple times a year. So watching everybody else on YouTube use hydrophobic spray and waxes and the ceramic coatings and stuff like that, where they can basically go over the car, put the coating on it, and then grab a foamer, spray the car down, and then shoot the car again without actually having to use any brushes or sponges. So essentially like a touchless wash. Now I put this on at the end of last year, right before it went into winter. I got the car all cleaned up so I could run some of this B-roll footage. And I got that footage because I had a lot of people asking to see more of the car. And so I was able to use that footage a lot in the last couple months. We'll have to reshoot some of that because the car has changed cosmetically a little bit since I recorded that last. So I did all this last fall, and I wasn't gonna record it then and be like, hey, so we're gonna try this, washing the car 6 months later and have a video waiting around for me to get back to this. So we're gonna do all this all at once. I put this on as per the bottle's instructions. So I would like to go over the car and see kind of how it affects the car just sitting here. And then we'll be lowering it out and actually grabbing my foamer, which is a Ryobi foamer that I bought from Home Depot. And then we will be foaming the car and washing it with a pressure washer and see if we can get it clean without actually having to use a brush or a sponge. So I want to play around with it real quick and see how easy this stuff actually comes off. We're going to be going back behind the rear tire here and testing this spot here. It looks like it comes off super easy. I want to try some of the bugs in the front. Those tend to stick a little bit harder than this. Based on what I saw right here, I think that this will come off relatively easy with a foam and a high pressure spray. Before we go to do the bugs on the front of the car, I did do these on the wheels as well, so hopefully these wheels will shine up. It is very soft still. Like, it feels like I just waxed the car after taking that dirt off. Based on how this came off here, I'm super excited to get the entire car all cleaned up. So the bugs are a little bit more difficult to get off. So I think the front end of this car, as most car washes are, will probably be the most difficult to get cleaned up all the way. But without further ado, let's get this car down off the lift, get it backed out, and then we will start to wash it. And then I will give my final thoughts on how well this turtle wax actually worked for my car. All right, so this is what we're gonna be using the Ryobi foamer, and then we're actually gonna be using some Ryobi foam. This can take basically any foamer or actually just any car soap. If you wanted to use this to spread car soap, it's the same thing. So we'll put this into there, and then there's actually only one other thing that I have to do to prep this car to get washed, and that's to actually cover the intake. Over here on the right-hand side of the car, facing the car or the driver's side, my air intake sits just back behind that hole. So I actually take 2 grocery bags, put them together to make sure it's not gonna get wet, and then I wrap the intake. This system right here isn't perfect, but it does a really good job of keeping the water from completely soaking the air intake, if not keeping all the water off altogether. So I just went through and rinsed the car off. I'm actually really impressed at how much actually came off with just rinsing it. And this isn't even like my high pressure one. This nozzle here is really just to spread foam and to rinse it. It's not a high pressure nozzle at all. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna put the soap on the car, and then I'm gonna change the nozzle to the stronger one, and then we'll go through the car, and then I will give my final thoughts on how well this stuff actually holds up and keeps the water and all the dirt and grime away from the paint, so that you can just rinse it instead of having to hand wash with a brush or a sponge. I can't take too long right now to record. It's very hot, so I've got to get drying, but there are some spots here I want to point out. So like these sections here, I'm not sure what this is. It's like a really super thick grease, and it's all up the side of this car. So I'm wondering if I ran something over, got on the tire, flicked up all over the side of the car, and it looks like I'm gonna have to get a little bit more handsy to get this one washed off on the side here, but everything else has cleaned off really well. I'm very surprised at how well this actually worked, even without the foam. Just going over it with some water cleaned probably a good 70 to 80% of the dirt and the grit off the car. So I'm gonna get this finished, cleaned up real quick, dry the car, and bring the car back into the garage. All right, so I guess right now is the best time to wrap this video up. I was trying to wait for my neighbors to stop mowing their lawn, and then the next neighbor started mowing their lawn, and they finished the next neighbor. So just ignore the lawnmowers in the background. So the Turtle Wax Ice Seal and Shine for my application worked really well. Now I haven't tried other hydrophobic or ceramic coatings yet. I want to continue to try them out on my race car and see how they do. But so far I'm very happy with this. I don't know how long this lasts, if there's like a certain number of washes or it times out, whatever the case may be. I actually recoated the side that I ended up having to wash. So I really only had 2 issues, and I don't think it was the fault of this. The wheels didn't clean up super great, and I think that's mostly because I didn't wash the wheels fully before putting this stuff on. I'm not very good about getting back behind each spoke and making sure the wheel was perfectly clean. And then down the passenger side, there was a bunch of that really thick grease. I'm not sure where I picked that up off the road somewhere, flicked it up onto the side of the car. That actually happened last fall. The last time I took the car out, I got that up the side of the car, and it's been there all winter. If I wanted to just rinse the car, even without using the foamer, I probably could have gotten away with that if I used just a high pressure washer. Using the foamer helped out a bunch more, and then I did have to use a little bit of a hand sponge to just kind of get down that one side, and I ended up cleaning the wheels a lot more thoroughly, and then reapplied this onto the wheels. So I don't really have anything to compare this to. I can't say it's better or worse than another one, but overall I would say that if you're going to do a ceramic coating or a hydrophobic spray, anything like that, I would say that's an absolute must, especially on a race car like this where I don't wash it very often. The paint on this car isn't the most stout, so I want to keep the sponge and the hand washing to a minimum and try my best to do a touchless car wash here at the house. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's content. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I want to say thanks to all my newest Patreon members. If you are interested in supporting me through Patreon, that Patreon link is in the description below. It's been helping me out a ton. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.